we all still mourn the loss of the show Firefly. But at least we've got a really cool role-playing game that was designed by Margaret Weis Publishing that actually allows us to pretty much relive all of it and expand upon it on our own. Firefly. And it uses a bit of the same system. It uses the Cortex Plus, and it actually works really well. It's kind of like a Fate derivative. If you want to know what Fate is, go look at other videos. You know how to do that. If you want, pause, come back. But otherwise, we're going to keep on going. Essentially, you've got 3 attributes: mental, physical, and social. And they have a die rating, which is kind of what Cortex did. So this is where it begins to differ a little bit than Fate. You'll see where the similarities come, I promise. And you assign a die code, and then you go down to your skills and you assign another die code. And then all you do is you start rolling stuff when you want to do stuff. You grab die from here, die from skills, and roll it. Every now and then you get assets, which are essentially things that make you you. For example, Mal's ship. You've got Vera for Jane. I mean, all of these things kind of play together. And they increase your die pool, and then you only roll and keep 2 dice versus a target number. And that's the game. Now, you're probably going, well, I'm not really seeing the similarities to Fate. Well, here's really the biggest one of them. The assets are essentially like the assets and invocations in Fate, and then you've got plot points, which are pretty much the identical functions of Fate points and are gained the same way, almost, with very slight differences, and spent to do pretty much the same things. So, and they also use the same terminology for death being taken out. And so, that being said, Cortex Plus, which is the system, actually does a better job of scaling than Fate does. Fate kind of was like, hey, we kind of got these things. There's really not a lot of up. This is a big problem for me, personally. Because I like to be able to increase my character and grow systemically, as opposed to just story-wise. Whereas Cortex Plus is like, we have die codes. Your die codes can be anything from, a D4 to like a D12. And you could easily expand that if you wanted to essentially just pick up, another D4. And that's pretty much what it does. And so systemically, it's actually really solid. And then we move on into, why is this such a good game as opposed to Serenity? It's because this license that they actually have from Fox this time is actually for all of Firefly, as opposed to Serenity, which only for some reason had the license for the movie. Don't ask me why they decided that. That was a dumb idea. But the new one has a license for the whole verse, and thus they're able to use a lot of it and use terminology and expand where they want to, and it is superb. Reading it, you're just going to instantly want to do Firefly. You're going to feel it, you're going to love it, you're going to want to put back on your episodes and then be super sad at the end when you realize there's still no season 2. Yeah. Anyway, I personally give the game a 4 out of 5 because whereas I really do like a lot of it, I still kind of draw some issues with this fact of taken out as opposed to death. It's super cool in some situations, but the idea that they constantly remind you in the book that death really isn't a thing they designed taken out to be kind of makes me go, where's the risk? Like, if my risk is I could sit out for like 30 minutes in session, that sucks. But if I lose my character, that's a way bigger loss, and that'll make me feel more, entrenched in the senses of my character and what I'm going to do. So, that's where it loses that 1 point. The art in the book, by the way, is really great in the sense that it's super evocative because about 50% of it is screenshots from the show and the movie, and the other 50% is actually art that's done in a style that really matches. So that's kind of, it's not great art, but it's good art because it's evocative. And I encourage you to check it out. I'll leave links for it down below. and go click on another video, go find out something new. And if you got any questions, just leave them down below and I'll eventually reply to them. Likely if I see them and Google's not a pain. And yeah.